What's up, guys? Back at it again with another vlog. This one's going to be a little special because it's going to be a conversation I'm going to be having with you guys. So earlier this week I posted up a vlog asking for some questions for a Q&A, and I got quite the response. I had my social media manager, let's call this person Jasper. So if you guys didn't know, I have a social media manager that goes by the name Jasper. So if you guys follow me on social media, make sure to say, "Hi Jasper." So yeah, I got quite a bit of questions. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this up into a few parts because I want to give you guys the best answers I can. And I don't want to be making this like a 30-minute video because then that's a lot of footage to edit. So we'll make this a part 1 to this Q&A series. So the first question I have here is from Michelle Wynn. She says, "I don't really have a question in particular, but I really enjoy your vlogs. So how are you doing today?" Well, Michelle, first thing, thank you. Thank you for this comment. Thank you for your question. And I'm really glad that you're enjoying the vlogs. So her question is, how are you doing today? Today was a particularly busy day. I guess it's always a busy day in the Wong Fu office, but I'm doing pretty good. I got a coffee here, even though it's 8:30 at night. Still got quite a bit to do today to kind of finish off the night, but I'm doing pretty good. I feel healthy, I feel motivated, I feel happy to be having this conversation with you guys, but I'll flip the question around. Michelle, how are you doing today? I'll wait for a response. Second question is from Ikis. And Ikis asks, when will you start your rap career? So this is actually a great question because I actually already started my rap career. My rap career started in the 7th grade. A little known fact about me is that I won a little rap battle in the 7th grade. Unfortunately, this was towards like the end of the year, so then we had like a summer break, and then we came back for 8th grade, and I was all pumped and ready to get back into the rap battle scene, but everybody had forgot at that point, so I just have like a whole notebook filled with like middle school raps, but I keep a lock and key on that, so I'm saving that for the future. Emily Faith asks, any unusual or unique hobbies you do? So I think if you guys have been following my vlogs or this channel or my Instagram, you might have an idea of some of my hobbies. Currently, some things I do outside of work are jujitsu. So I got into jujitsu in college, and I've been kind of on and off until recently. I'm trying to get back into it. And jujitsu was like a direct transition from high school wrestling that I used to do. So that's one of my hobbies, and then I'm trying to get back into playing paintball. So I've been trying out for this one paintball team, and I managed to make the practice squad there. So that's one of the hobbies I'm trying to bring back. Other hobbies, I don't really play video games anymore. I used to play a lot in high school, but not so much nowadays. Oh yeah, and a little bit of like woodworking as well. I haven't done a lot of that lately since I've been so busy, but that's something I do enjoy, like designing projects and making them appear. Next question is from Emma Tiny Viking, and Emma asks, what's the best budget editing software that is user-friendly? So the best budget editing software that's user-friendly, I would say, is probably iMovie. So iMovie comes free with any like Mac computers. I think that's probably going to be like the best editing software to start with because it's free. But if you don't have a Mac, I don't think they make Windows Movie Maker anymore, but that was a really popular one back in the day. But if you're gonna try to step into editing more regularly, I would highly suggest the Adobe suite, so Adobe Premiere Pro. You do have to pay like a monthly membership to that, so this would be something if you were wanting to do video editing more regularly, because I think Premiere is right now the most used software. The software that all like the big budget movies use is called Avid, but that has quite the learning curve, and it's not as accessible for someone just wanting to make videos as a hobby. So I would suggest iMovie first, Adobe Premiere, and if you have the finances for it, maybe Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro X is Apple's editing software, but that's a one-time payment, so I think it's like $300. So not really a budget editing software, but it's an option for the hobbyist, and it's pretty user-friendly as well. But if you're gonna do it in any like professional setting, I would suggest Adobe Premiere Pro. Next question is from the Joey Llewellyn. Joey asks, how did you begin working for Wong Fu? So I started working for Wong Fu in August of 2015. So 2 months prior to that, I went on a kind of crazy road trip for 2 months, and while I was on that road trip, my best friend from high school sent me a link to an ad for Wong Fu's like internship, for a post-production internship, and I was already kind of at the point where I was working pretty regularly in the film and TV industry, so I was kind of working my way up from there. I was kind of past the internship phase at that point, but then I was sent this opportunity, and I wasn't too happy with kind of where I was going, the direction I was going. So I kind of bit the bullet, and I did this internship while still freelancing. So that's kind of how I got into it. And from the internship, they brought me on part time, and then continued to freelance, continued to kind of move around the industry, but then eventually got to a point to where I was full-time for Wong Fu, and I was able to really, give it my all and really fully invest myself in the company, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So yeah, as far as like the how, I tried to bring as much of myself as I could, relying a lot on past work experience, and bringing that into the work that I do, and wanted to really show how dedicated I was to the job. But they kept me this long, so I think I'm doing something right. And last question for this first round of Q&A is from Mary Vu. And Mary Vu asks, what is your favorite quote you like to live by? And this is a great question. I really want to have like this one like deep quote that, I go back to, but I can't quite think of one. But I keep a lot of notes in my phone. And this one note I go back to quite a bit. And this is something I wrote to myself. I don't claim to be the originator of this quote, but this just came out of my head. So it goes, by the nature of simply existing, you are a role model. You don't have a choice. The only choice you have is whether to be a good role model or a bad role model. So this quote kind of came from like a lot of celebrities that are in positions of influence, right? And a lot of times these celebrities are like harshly criticized, maybe looked down on for their behavior, and sometimes these celebrities will say something like, I'm not a role model, or I don't want to be a role model. So my reaction to that was, you don't really have a choice whether you're a role model or not, because there's always going to be somebody that looks at you, looks up to you, and adopts certain traits that they see. So I think what people need to realize is that, whether or not you want to be a role model, somebody's always going to be looking, and somebody's always going to be aspiring to take certain parts of your personality or your behavior. So it's important that we, set the best example for the next generation, and that's something I feel very strong about. It's not really like a famous quote that, people post on their Instagram or their Tumblrs, but this is something that I use to kind of remind myself of, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I think it's a good one. I think it's a good mindset to have that, everything you do, if you don't want your kids to do it, you shouldn't do, right? So, but yeah, thank you guys for all the questions. I hope that you guys are learning a little bit more about me, but yeah, keep them coming. I have a whole list of questions in this document that I will be referring back to for future episodes. Once again, thank you to Jasper, my social media manager. Everybody, if you can leave like a thank you to Jasper in the comments, that would be really great, because she's the one he or she is the one that is, posting up little stories of the puppies, Mochi and Mayu. She's the one that's helping me out, typing up things, because a lot of my time is really spent doing Wong Fu work, so I don't have a lot of time to kind of push myself out there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, supporting, commenting, liking. It really motivates me to keep doing this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.